I have played the Midnight Beta, and it's really dang good. Like, genuinely, the beta is a ton of fun, and they're making a lot of small changes here and there to the core experience that I think will make the game overall better, and the world and the story more enjoyable. And in today's video, I want to talk about my experience with questing. World of Warcraft putting the war back in Warcraft, their biggest problem that still exists narratively, and also some genuinely baffling decision making on Blizzard's part here. And you know what? We're gonna start with that. Hello, everybody. It's your boy Jmulls. And why is transmog so expensive now?
No equal.
Okay, let's start with the transmog system, because this is the epitome of Blizzard design. What do I mean by this? It's a combination of absolutely fantastic changes. Truly, some amazing changes to one of the most important systems in the game for so many people that'll make it far more enjoyable to use and so much more customizable. And for a system like transmog, where that's the name of the game, being able to make a bunch of different outfits and attach modifiers such as conditions on them so that the game auto-equips various sets under certain circumstances and conditions that you set as the player. That is such a cool idea. Maybe you want to look different when you go into a rest area like a capital city. Maybe you want a set only for dungeons. Maybe you want a set for only raids, or for only when you're out in the open world, or some combination therein. You can do that now. That is a really cool change, and I applaud Blizzard for making these changes to this system. It genuinely does make it far more exciting and interesting. However, as is too often the case with Blizzard design, one hand gives, the other takes for some reason. But good news, the cons of this system are easily remedied, and in my opinion, I think they're going to be changed by the time this comes out to live. This is a beta after all. However, my issue is that these things should have been so readily apparent and obvious, they shouldn't have even made it to beta. What do I mean by this? One, and this is a rather small one, the UI is just a little bit unintuitive if you just want to equip a transmog set. You either have to change the set itself to save and then apply it, or you have to actually click on the set icon itself because it treats it like a button you can put on your hotbars. I spent like 5 minutes looking for just an apply button and it just didn't exist. You have to click on the actual icon.
No equal.
Let's head in-game to actually show this off. So this is a new UI for transmog, and it's actually rather nice. But as you can see, there's no button for just plain applying a transmog. You have to click on this thing, and you can like change the actual visual appearance of the icon if you want. Because this is just a regular ability. You can just slap it onto your hotbars if you want. Like so. So, if I'm out in the overworld, and I want to turn into that set, I can just hit that hotbar. We do a bit of a twirl there, and now we're molten. And here's the situations tab, where you can apply a bunch of various situations to a transmog set, so it equips that set under those situations. So for this one, if I'm in a rest area or character select, it'll equip this set. I can also do things like movement. Am I unmounted? Am I swimming? Am I in a ground mount or a flying mount? What specialization am I? You can get really into the weeds with this if you so choose, but I'm glad they give you that layer of customization. I think that's a positive thing. So now if I apply this, the game will apply this transmog set if I'm in a rest area or in the character select. And let's say I want this outfit for when I'm out in the actual world fighting things. So I have world, delve, dungeon, raid, arena, battleground. I can apply that here, and now when I leave Orgrimmar, it should equip this set. Let's test that out. As you can see, I'm in the Molten set, which is what I call it. We go up and away, and we go out into Durotar proper. On my Haranir, who actually look quite nice, by the way. And as you can see, we have changed transmog set naturally. It does take a little bit, like an extra second or two, but if we go back into Orgrimmar, you'll see that it transmogged me back into that fiery set from before. And there we go. It does take a little bit. Could just be a kink they need to work out for the beta, or just so if you fly between like the borders of two locations, it doesn't automatically swap it every frame. If you like just do this and this and this all the time, I could imagine that providing some rather interesting issues on the back end for the game.
No equal.
The new system, the new UI, the new mechanisms for transmog is really dang cool. However, one hand giveth, the other one taketh away. Or more like it sliding into your gold pouch and grabbing as much as humanly possible. Why is transmog so expensive? Look, I get it, you can kind of make the counter argument that while the new transmog system is more expensive up front because you're not paying gold every time you swap your transmog, only when you make an actual set, or when you buy more set tabs. In the old system, they charged you every time you swapped anything. So like maybe over the long term, it does kind of even out in that regard. However, counterpoint, who does this benefit? Genuinely speaking, who does this benefit? Because when I think about this for 2 seconds, the only people that this really harms are those the system was designed for. People who utilize transmog all the time, that want to have a large variety of different sets that apply for different circumstances and situations, and this system only harms the people that want to actually make use of a system that is new to the game. I don't understand the logic of charging exorbitant prices for more and more tabs. They start out rather low. It's kind of like a bank tab where you can buy the first few for rather cheap, but then the later ones cost you an arm, a leg, and a kidney. It's the same kind of situation here. If you want to get all 20 outfit slots, that's like 800k gold. Like, why? The only thing I can think of is that perhaps they know or have data or whatever to show that people that really care about their character customization and the way their character looks are more likely to spend IRL money on the in-game shop. So maybe their rationale is, if we make it so expensive, maybe we can push people to buy the WoW token just to get in-game gold to buy more outfit slots for their character. And as you can see, if I log my druid on the beta, I don't have the outfit tabs from my shaman. This isn't warband wide or anything like that. It's character specific. That could just be a kink of the beta, but if it's not, if you want to get all 20 slots for each of your characters, that's going to be about 800k a character. That is outrageous. It's just simply outrageous. There's no reason for it to be that expensive or that limited. They give you 100k just to start out with a character on the beta, so let's test this. Let's buy new sets. First one is 100. That's nothing. That's fine, right? Set 3. Sure. Let's buy another one. Now it's up to 500. Set 4. Let's get another one. This one's all the way up to 1,000 gold. Set 5. So far, not too bad. Now it's at 5,000. Okay, wait a minute. We're starting to lose a bit of money here. Okay, set 7. Now, with set 8, we're at 15k. Like, this is getting pretty expensive, don't you think? Now we're at 20k. Jesus, it just doesn't stop. It just keeps going. More and more money. Now, for set 10, 25k. Christ. How much money are you gonna take away from me just because I want to have a bunch of cool outfits for my individual character? Oh, and by the way, the money taking doesn't just stop when you buy these, like, set tabs. To actually put a transmog set in the tab costs money. So I can save the outfit, which is an easy like 3.5k there, and now outfit 1, I can swap to it as much as I want. That's still a lot of money up front. We go to outfit 2, like maybe I want the Wailing Banshee set here, so I can save the outfit there, 2.7k. Just putting 2 sets down already cost me over 5k. I don't even have all the outfit slots, by the way. And you may say, well, who needs all this? Well, that's also the point. The people that are not going to be bothered by this system are going to be those that probably don't even need the 2 you get, or will be perfectly satisfied with only 2 and move on about their day. But the people that really want to get into the weeds when it comes to the system, that care about their transmog, that care about a system like this, that get hyped for a system like this is a massive gold sink. And like, maybe that's one of the things they wanted this to be, was to be a gold sink, to give people more of a reason to actually use the in-game gold. Because let's be fair here, if you get to max level in the war within and do world quests, they throw gold at you. Sure, like maybe that's part of the rationale, but I still do not see how that is supposed to be an additive element for this system. What about making the transmog system really expensive is supposed to make it better? That's what I don't understand. The in-game economy is already screwed because of things like the WoW token. So unless you are deliberately trying to funnel people into buying the WoW token, I don't see how this benefits anyone. Well, I guess besides the people that buy your WoW token with gold. Oh, 3.4k for this set. That doesn't even include the weapon, by the way. That also doesn't include an enchantment. And just the weapon and an enchantment already costs like 2/3 the price of the rest of the set. It's like, oh my god, that is pricey, dude. Why? Like I said, it's a really cool system. The changes that they've made to transmog in terms of the UI, in terms of what you can do, really awesome stuff. Like, genuinely incredible. But you gave me a phenomenal soup bowl with some amazing broth in it, and there's just like a pube right down the middle. Can we like remove that? I don't see what this pube is doing in this soup or how it makes it better. Sure, I like seasoning, but not like that.
No equal.
I thought The War Within was a massive step up in terms of Blizzard's writing quality, especially coming from an expansion like Dragonflight. But there were still two big things I wanted them to improve on, one of which was dialogue, the other, rule of cool. I haven't even made it to the final zone in Midnight, and they are doing such a better job of implementing rule of cool into the overall experience. Damn! Okay. Wow, okay, this actually feels like we're on the back foot. It's genuinely a pretty dang good leveling experience. And the way that it's broken up is when you log into Midnight, it's basically immediately following the cinematic. You'll be rushed to go defend the Sunwell, you'll have an intro scenario in Quel'Danas itself, and then you'll go quest in Eversong, where it will introduce to you various concepts. Eretor's personal struggle, the Amani, and also the Lightbloom. And after you do Eversong, it will then give you a choice to go to Harandar, to go learn more about the Harane and the Lightbloom. You can go to Zulaman to go deal with that whole issue. Or something rather interesting, you can go do Eretor's Journey, which basically takes you to a bunch of old world locations, such as the Scarlet Monastery, Blackrock Mountain, Light's Hope Chapel, where you journey alongside not only Eretor, but also Alonce's Fowl, to go learn about the mysteries of the light and what makes it tick, and what type of paladin Eretor wants to be. I love the idea of a main questline taking us back to a lot of previous locations in the old world, because one of WoW's biggest problems for the longest time was that each expansion just made the world feel so small, because it just sequestered you away into a new continent and largely ignored the old world. Well, Midnight doesn't really do that, because Eretor's Journey takes you directly back to a lot of these previous locations. The questing there is nothing like world-renowned or anything, but it is rather neat. Now, so far, I don't think the actual writing in any of these zones is something to particularly laud. It is, for the most part, kind of what you expect each of these zones to be. Harandar is basically the zone where you go to learn about the origins of the Haranir, and you also deal with the plot line where it's like, oh, these people who secluded themselves away from everyone else, they're wary of outsiders, but over the course of the story, you'll learn how you both have to work together for the greater good. Zulaman, well, the Blood Elves and the Amani have hated each other for thousands upon thousands of years. And while I wouldn't say the takeaway is, oh, now the Blood Elves and the Amani are buddy-buddy, because that's absolutely not what happens, most of the zone is basically us following Zuljara, who is the leader of the Amani right now, on a quest to go rekindle her people's relationship with Haloa so that we can team up to fight the Void. And over the course of the zone, a friendship develops between Lady Liadrin and Zuljara. And you will never believe it, Zuljara's hardhead brother, he's a hardhead, and wants to just charge into battle, not caring about the sacrifices that are made. Whereas she is the calmer, more rational one, even if she still loves bashing people over the head with her axe. You see what I mean by the writing being kind of what you expect it to be? It's just those very generic elements, they don't spend too much time on them. They do, don't get me wrong, but there's enough else that is there that is cool and interesting that I'm able to focus more on those elements than these stories that I feel like I've seen 1,000 times before. For instance, in Zulaman, oh my god, they have nailed the Amani aesthetic. These locations, when you're diving into these ancient ruins or crypts, it's so mysterious and haunted, and just, if you love the troll aesthetic, they absolutely nail it here. Oh, the wind howling. God, our team at Blizzard deserves a raise here. Jesus. This place is so dang cool. Eversong and, like, Silvermoon, some of the best work artistically they've ever done for this game. Genuinely, it is beautiful, dude. And the Harandar zone, again, does it kind of feel like insert what you imagine an Avatar storyline to be like? Yeah, kind of. But oh my god, that zone is so dang cool. And you don't spend too much time with the Haranir that are distrustful of you. Most of the time, you're spending your time with characters that actually teach you about the origins of the Haranir, which is actually, in my opinion, not too bad. I actually like the Haranir. I think they're rather interesting. And you also learn about the deep places of Azeroth, and also the connection the Haranir have with their goddess, Azeroth. So while those very, very stereotypical plot beats do exist here, and in the other zones, they spend enough time on actually interesting elements to where I don't mind it, and I thoroughly enjoyed my time in each of these questing zones.
I have seen nothing to shame us.
You have not seen the journey to its end. After all the trials and journeys, we hoped to find purpose. Instead, we found discord and death. Same thing mostly applies to Erator's journey as well. He's the young guy who's disillusioned with the current system. Tell me if you've heard this before. So basically, you and Alonce's Fowl take him all across Azeroth, mostly the Eastern Kingdoms, to go learn about various elements of the light. For instance, with the Scarlets, the Sunwalker Tauren, and while I haven't finished it, I have gotten to Blackrock Mountain, so it is building to Erator learning more about Turalian's really badass history. Though I will say, having Eitrig with the Sons of Lothar tag, by the way, feels very wrong, but it was a human strangeness that changed things for me, Tyrion forging. And again, while it does kind of feel like you've seen this story 1,000 times before, exploring what the light actually is and how various races of Azeroth channel the light. As someone who likes to main Paladin from time to time, I think it's actually rather interesting. So again, there's enough pros here to focus on those pros instead of just hyperfixating on the cons that do exist. And again, I have to reiterate this. This is some of their best zone design visually they've ever done. Like, genuinely, every place I go to in this game is a feast for the eyes. And one of my biggest takeaways from all my time in the beta for Midnight, I cannot wait for the last Titan. I know that maybe sound like, oh god, Midnight's that bad, you have to wait for the next expansion already. No, it's the way these zones look, the way they feel, their use of color, their perspective, how cool and epic so many of these locations and set pieces are. Bro, get me to Ulduar. Get me to the Storm Peaks. Get me to Grizzly freaking Hills. I cannot wait to see what they do with Northrend in the next expansion. I physically cannot wait to see what Ulduar looks like, what the Storm Peaks of all zones look like. Like, that zone's one of the biggest, most grandest, beautiful pieces of art Blizzard have ever constructed. That came out back in Wrath of the Lich King. With skywriting that we have now, how good, how spacious, how epic, how grandiose is it going to look and to feel? My god, I am excited. I am waiting with bated breath, heart palpitating, tongue watering, just to see what they're cooking up for that expansion. Oh my god. But like, again, Midnight's so gorgeous. Oh my god. And a lot of the writing issues that I've talked about before kind of get minimized because where you are when you're having these moments happen is so dang cool. Like, especially in Zulaman. The zone of Zulaman begins with a city-wide battle against the Void.
Mere mortal-born armaments cannot harm the grand glory of Zalatar.
And the zone ends with another battle against the Void in like this ruined hellscape of a city. We got like parts of the city like shattered almost up in the air. It looks awesome, dude.
Remind these invaders this land is ours!
Armani reinforcements.
So is the writing of Midnight so far anything to particularly like put in the history books? No, not really. It's fine. I think it is a step up from the War Within, which I already did like. But you just have to remember in the back of your mind and temper your expectations, this is still World of Warcraft. The big improvements coming from the War Within, they're getting way better at Rule of Cool. And this is also without actually seeing pretty much any of the real-time cutscenes. Because they're just not in the beta yet, and when you get to one of those scenes, it's just a text scroll. A big lightwood ballista bolt breaks Mordune's pylon. Mordoon laughs and gloats about killing the Amani. Mordoon and all his Twilight Blade teleport away. The threat is gone for now, but the NPCs look around at the pillaged city. From the summaries I've seen in-game, nothing they showed makes me go, oh, I can't wait to see what that cutscene looks like. But like, maybe they can cook with them, who knows. Their cutscenes nowadays, so long as they aren't like the Temu ones, are pretty dang good. I haven't gotten to Voidstorm yet, but I am excited to get there. And you know what? A WoW questing experience where I'm excited to do more of it, I'll take that. That's a thumbs up for me.
No equal.
In another attempt by Blizzard to make Midnight feel very reminiscent to the Burning Crusade, you do not have your dungeons unlocked automatically. You have to go unlock them, and you'll get them from questing. They do incorporate the dungeons and the delves into the stories of these zones. I really like this direction because it makes various moments feel cooler and more epic because you're actually doing content that gives various scenarios actual teeth. So it's not just like a random quest mob in the overworld that dies in like 4 hits. Even some of those guys have been been buffed, which I like to see. But personally, it also makes me care about certain characters even more. For instance, Zul'Jara, the leader of the Amani Trolls. I thought she was like solidly okay during the questing, and then you do a dungeon where you and your dungeon group are fighting alongside Zul'Jara for the final boss. And it's really interesting because she helps you out actually during the fight by basically fighting the boss alongside you and doing various mechanics that can benefit you. And in response, there are various mechanics that are at play there where you have to protect Zul'Jara, so it's like give and take. So it actually does feel as if you're fighting alongside her. I like having moments like that in video games, especially for various characters. It makes me care more about them, and I think this dungeon boss did a good job of doing that for me. I can't speak much when it comes to the class changes. There's a few changes when it comes to things like Ret Paladin. To me, it feels like it plays mostly the same. It's just a bit more squishy. So yeah, overall, when it comes to Midnight, my first impressions of it are very positive. Not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, and some baffling decisions when it comes to the UI and the execution of the transmog system, but overall, thumbs up from me all around. And here's where you come in. Leave a comment down below with what zone is your personal favorite out of Midnight, and what do you think Blizzard still needs to do to improve the game overall going forward? Or what's your biggest piece of feedback from Midnight? I would love to hear your thoughts, hear your opinions, and hear your perspectives. And while you're down there, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out and helps support future content, and I greatly appreciate it. And guys, it's no secret, World of Warcraft's launches are rather broken. Midnight's beta was no exception. It's been one of the biggest issues with the War Within's patches, and I don't really see this ever being fully rectified because of one simple issue. If you want to find out more, you should check out this video right here for more. Stay safe, everybody. Have a great day. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Until we meet again!